Buddhist knowledge is wrong. Buddhism doctor is wrong. Nguyen Tan Tai asked the Tao, Dear Master Tan Tien, thanks to knowledge, people can understand right from wrong, good from bad, etc. Also thanks to knowledge of Buddhism, people can know right from wrong. If not for knowledge of Buddhism, how can we know Buddhism, know the path of practice? From that, I have a question. Master thinks that knowledge of Buddhism is wrong. Master criticizes Buddhist PhDs as wrong. Please explain. Reply. 1. What is intelligence? Intelligence is the understanding of all species. All animals have understanding. It means that all animals have intelligence. If you think that only humans have intelligence, it is untrue and subjective. In fact, all species have intelligence and understanding. Humans are the weakest animals in the world. Even mosquitoes and ants can carry humans across the river of death, but, thanks to humans knowing how to develop intelligence to become masters. Animals such as ants, fish, dogs, bears, all have knowledge, but they do not have luck. Their ancestors did not leave them any experience to learn from and develop their understanding. As for humans, thanks to the experience left by our ancestors, we can learn from them and develop and advance our understanding, which means our intelligence is developed every day and is more advanced than before. 2. What is knowledge? Knowledge comes from learning from the experiences of those who have gone before. Just look at you doctors and you will understand. Medicine is an abstract profession. If it weren't for the miracle doctors and doctors who came before us and left their mark, wouldn't there be so many doctors today who are truly extraordinary and talented? Too obvious. Knowledge is acquired by learning from those who have gone before. And we are willing to cultivate knowledge because knowledge satisfies our desires for life, satisfies our desires for wisdom, increased understanding. In other words, the knowledge we have is taught to us by scientists, or we get it by imitating scientists. Knowledge always increases with desire, and cannot avoid the suffering of birth, aging, sickness, and death. 3. What is liberating insight? It is the development of understanding taught to us by Buddha Shakyamuni. This learning and understanding does not carry with it greed. Thus, liberating insight is the understanding of how to reduce craving to the minimum level, in order to attain mastery over birth, aging, sickness, and death, and to transcend and no longer be reborn as a suffering human being. If knowledge is developed, liberating insight does not arise. If liberating insight is developed, knowledge must go. Without ignorance there is no enlightenment. Without enlightenment there is no more ignorance. 4. Thus, humans inherently have intelligence, and know how to use wisdom to develop knowledge, move towards satisfying increasing desires, going deep into ignorance and suffering, or use wisdom to develop liberating knowledge, gradually reduce greed, go deep into wisdom, and end suffering. 5. You are right. Without knowledge of Buddhism, how can one understand the Four Noble Truths? The 5 aggregates, the Eightfold Path, the 12 links of dependent origination, and the 37 factors of enlightenment. When teaching the Dharma, Buddha did not allow taking notes. It is because of this point. If taking notes were allowed, practitioners would focus on developing their knowledge of the Dharma to gain understanding. The more they develop their knowledge of the Dharma, the more they would inadvertently lure practitioners into developing knowledge, satisfying their greed for wisdom. So, how can practitioners develop liberating insight and reduce greed? Now do you understand why Buddha did not allow recording? Whatever Buddha does is righteous, whatever Buddha teaches is correct. Buddha said, living alone, eating 1 meal a day, having no money, no music, no makeup. All are valid reasons to cultivate liberating knowledge. If we do not follow the Buddha's teachings, we cannot develop liberating insight to overcome suffering. 6. Thus, without using knowledge, we only use intelligence to know the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, the 12 links of dependent origination, the 37 factors of enlightenment, the 5 aggregates. To acknowledge that our life is temporary, ephemeral like a flower that blooms in the morning and fades in the evening. With endless suffering? Make up your mind. Do you want to escape suffering? If you do, then follow Buddha and practice. 7. Using Buddhist knowledge to understand Buddhism leads to misunderstanding the Buddha's teachings. Evidence: many scholars read scriptures and are well versed in history, but are like birds learning human language, not understanding anything. Example 1. Buddha said, "Know your own faults, not others." They do not know what the Buddha taught for which sect. Meeting Master Thonglak, a great master, exposed the errors of Mahayana scriptures to save them from ignorance and darkness. They were ignorant, not knowing they were wrong, and used Buddha's teachings to criticize and defame Master Thonglak. So, are they a flock of birds learning human language? Because Master Thonglak is a great master, he must point out the wrong and the ho, so that practitioners know clearly and avoid them. Example 2. Buddha taught Kalama, "Don't believe, don't believe." That means Buddha taught us, don't be quick to believe anyone. Instead, use right view, see clearly, use right thinking, think clearly about whether that thing is good or bad. If it is good, then we should accept it, because good is always beneficial for our life. They do not see correctly what Master Thonglak is doing. They do not contemplate what Master Thonglak is teaching. They brought up the Buddha's teachings above and hastily concluded, "Don't believe Master Thonglak." So, are they a flock of birds learning human language? Meanwhile, Master Thonglak teaches the good Dharma to everyone, using the Buddha's teachings to practice in order to escape suffering. In this way, does that mean missing out on the wonderful fortune that comes to them? Example 3. The Buddha taught Subhata that, when the monks practice and preach the Dharma correctly, this world will never be empty of liberated arahants. Before their eyes, there were only monks who preached incorrectly and propagated incorrectly. They still obediently bow their heads in respect, clasp their hands and kneel, just because they see the monk's robe. They don't understand that the robe does not make the monk. So, are they birds learning human language? Oh, you profound scholars of Mahayana Buddhism. Ignorance is not knowing that you are wrong. Yet you use ignorance to argue against and oppose the saints. Master Thonglak teaches and saves sentient beings. What benefit does it bring to him? Example 4. They know the scriptures by heart but do not understand the Buddha's teachings. Cultivation is to abandon desire, abandon evil, and increase good within ourselves. They are accomplices of ignorance that, if you want to practice, you must practice morality first. What morality is this? Morality is the talent to deceive people to make a living. The Buddha clearly taught, we see suffering due to birth, aging, sickness, and death, so we practice. Practicing means we fight and win against our own desires, so that we can master our own birth, aging, sickness, and death, and we can escape, no longer be reborn as our own human beings. Who is it that tells us to learn morality? Is the teaching of Master Thonglak in accordance with the Buddha's teachings? Oh, profound scholars of Mahayana Buddhism. Cultivation is to close the door and live alone. After I have conquered myself, I will use humanistic ethics and cause and effect to guide Buddhists to cultivate like me, and they will also attain the same fruit as me. Meanwhile, they praised the monk who had attained enlightenment and burned his valuables. If you burned a cow or a dog, would you still have such valuables? 8. Therefore, because there is no Buddha to directly teach us how to practice, we have to use our knowledge of Buddhism to know the 4 Noble Truths, the 5 Aggregates, the Eightfold Path, the 12 Links of Dependent Origination, and the 37 Factors of Enlightenment. But we must know our limits. Understanding like this is enough, then we can start practicing the Buddha's teachings, aiming to develop liberating knowledge. If we focus on Buddhist knowledge, we will unintentionally lose path, chasing after the development of knowledge, deeply enjoying the pleasures of greed, without knowing or realizing it. To help you understand better, people must eat to live. If you want to practice successfully, you must know, eating 1 meal a day is enough, but because of greed, we eat more, then we get lost in satisfying our greed. If our greed is satisfied, then don't become a monk. Just enjoy life, then don't complain. Why is there so much suffering in birth, aging, sickness, and death? In short, it is clear that the higher the knowledge of Buddhism, the more misunderstanding of true Buddhism. I have understood why studying for a doctorate in Buddhism and developing knowledge of Buddhism is just to show off to naive and foolish relatives and friends, but it has no benefit for practicing and mastering birth, aging, sickness, and death. Because the more knowledge one learns, the more greed increases, and one moves towards ignorance. The suffering of birth, aging, sickness, and death is natural. The misconception of those who feel inferior, thinking, I lack education, I lack knowledge, I lack morality, so I don't dare to practice. In Buddhism, the less educated and knowledgeable a person is, the more likely he is to follow a monk to practice and attain enlightenment, and the faster he will attain enlightenment. Evidence. During the time Buddha taught to practice, most monks came from the poor, uneducated, lower class, and had no knowledge. Typical examples are Lady Lean Hoa Sak, and the Nikaya scriptures recorded in the common Pali language, because most of the arahants came from the lower class.